What's up everybody, JJ here again with this week's video, and as promised I have a topic that actually pertains to either training or nutrition for you this week. And obviously a lot of people, when I put a poll on Instagram and asked whether they wanted help with either training or nutrition, the vast majority of you said nutrition, so that's what we're starting with this week, and I hope you enjoy. So what I'm going to be covering this week is why do I follow and why do I have my clients follow a flexible dieting approach. So by flexible dieting, I mean you are not eating chicken or fish and rice with veggies. You are not replacing your meals with shakes 3 times a day. And you're not on a starvation diet, no necessarily fad kind of thing. You're eating the foods you want to be eating in moderation, and it's flexible. You are enjoying what you're doing. And why do I follow that? So I'll preface by saying there is a difference between a competition prep client and a lifestyle client that's looking to make amazing progress but still live their day-to-day life, and they don't have any competitive goals in mind. Their goals have to do with either weight loss, weight gain, or just living that healthier lifestyle. And while there are those differences, there's one thing that both of those clients, their diets have in common. And any diet really is going to have this in common, and that's that the most important aspect of that nutrition, of that diet, is going to be the consistency. So my clients, despite it seeming like they're eating whatever, if you see me repost or you see the food that I post, their diets are actually laid out in a way that is on their program, and it is all that food is accounted for, and all of that food serves a purpose. So the cereal post-workout that my clients and I also have, a majority of my clients, some of my clients don't, but we'll get to that later. The burgers, the off-plan meals that are worked into my clients' programs. Some of my clients go out, they have drinks. It's all worked into their programs in a way that fuels their performance in their training and fits the lifestyle that they are choosing to live. And so one of the big things that I did want to talk about as far as flexible dieting goes has to do with the mindset, right? So we look at diets, and diets get a very negative connotation. You say the word diet, and I've tweeted about this before, or a Facebook post, I can't remember which one it was, but health and living a healthy lifestyle has such a negative connotation now. It seems hard when it really doesn't have to be. Obviously we need to learn how to exercise moderation and self-control, but it doesn't have to suck, right? We just need to formulate and have the mentality that food is not a treat, food is not a reward, food is fuel, and that is all food really. I've posted that I get frozen yogurt sometimes for my refeeds. The burger and fries, the pizzas, whatever it may be, it's all still fuel. They're all made up of energy. They're made up of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, all of which make up calories. Calories is energy. Calories are not bad. Your body needs the calories, right? And so it's a thing that we look at nutrition labels and we say, oh, well, this has 600 calories, it must be bad, or it has 800, whatever number you think is bad. It's not. It's the energy that your body needs. And so whatever foods you enjoy, maybe I alter how you prepare them, shave off a few of the emptier, which there's no such thing as empty calories, but shave off the calories that don't contribute as much to the fuel that you specifically need. We prepare them in a little bit cleaner fashion, but those are the foods I want you to be eating, because again, one of the things that I preach is that your nutrition has to be sustainable, right? It has to be something that you're comfortable doing for a prolonged period of time, because in order to get the results, they don't happen overnight, and everybody understands that. But what most people don't understand is that you can eat the foods you like, structured in a fashion that over the course of time will find you getting the results that you're looking for. And so I'm actually going to put over here my personal diet that I'm following right now as an example, right? And so one of the things that that diet won't show is that on my high carb days, which is going to be the Mondays and Fridays, those are the days I have leg workouts. So you'll see that I have a muffin in those pre-workout meals. And I take the fats away from my oatmeals later in the day, but also on those days, if I have a drop in weight or I feel like my performance is lagging, I will have a refeed meal along with that for meal 5. So it's going to replace one of the chicken and rice meals. And the rice in those days is also bumped, not in the pre-workout because I also have the muffin, but the rest of the meals, the carbohydrates go up. So it's overall just a higher amount of calories because the expenditure on those days is greater. And so it's structured in a way that is going to correlate with the energy expenditure needs. If your body is expending more energy, it needs more energy in the form of calories to combat that. And my personal goal right now is to be adding muscle mass. In order to do so, I need to be in a caloric surplus. That means I need to be eating more calories than I am burning. And that comes by way of muffins because I love muffins. And there's actually studies that claim that the saturated fats in muffins, or excuse me, unsaturated fats in muffins lead to better muscle gain than, say, cookies or other things that people do for the pump. I always say muffin pump. It's carbs, it's sugar. Of course, it's going to give you a pump. But it was interesting for me to read a couple articles saying that muffin pumps are real as far as stimulating muscle protein synthesis. Do I believe it? Absolutely not, but it was cool research. Anyways, so what if you're not like myself? What if you are looking to lose weight? So I won't actually put up an example of it. However, I have one client who works out 4 days a week. It's a female. She's looking to decrease her body fat percentage. She wants to tone up essentially. So we want to be adding muscle while decreasing body fat, which if you are new to the gym, contrary to what a lot of people say, it is possible to do both at the same time. So for her, she works out, like I said, 4 times a week. On those days, her carbohydrates are a little bit higher. On her rest days, we lower them. In her case, we also have 1 day a week, and it's actually structured on a rest day, that she has her higher calorie day. So she has an off-plan meal in the evenings. I structure her meals earlier in the day. We drop the carbohydrates a little bit. She has one off-plan meal, whether she wants to go get a burger and fries like I typically do or a pizza, perfectly fine. I know she also oddly just really enjoys hot dogs, so she can go get that with her off meal. And I know she likes to go out with friends. So I say on that day, we structure her high day on a rest day so she can go have those drinks. It is absolutely okay for lifestyle clients to go out and consume alcohol. I'm 22. A lot of the clients I work with right now are younger, on the younger side. And I understand that that is a part of the lifestyle that they want to live. So that is structured in. It's again on a rest day because alcohol inhibits your muscle protein synthesis just because your body is going to metabolize the alcohol that you're ingesting before it metabolizes the food. And so why would I have her go out and have those drinks on a day she's training when it's just going to inhibit the muscle protein synthesis? We're trying to build muscle on her while bringing down her fat. So I structure, again, the alcohol on the rest day so it doesn't interfere with her body's recovery from the workouts that she does on her training days. And so it's all, everybody knows alcohol makes you fat. Well, alcohol has calories. Those are calories I would consider emptier calories. It's 7 calories per gram of alcohol. It's 9 calories per gram of fat, 4 for protein and carbs, right? So the alcohol that she consumes, I factor in. I say she can have 2 to 3 drinks even on the night she goes out. It's all factored into her diet. So I do have her in a caloric deficit because she will be able to build muscle mass in a caloric deficit as long as her protein is sufficient. Since she's new to resistance training, her body is going to be quicker at building that muscle mass with less resistance and less calories to do so. So I know that and have her in that caloric deficit along the week to make up for the calories, the empty calories that she's having on her off day, on her rest day when she has her off-plan meal. So I just drop the calories a little bit more so than I would normally for one of my other clients. Throughout the week, she has her high day, and over the course of the week, when you average that out, she's still in that caloric deficit. She can still be losing that body fat. So again, a flexible dieting lifestyle client can not only have those off-plan meals, eat what they want to eat in a moderation that's structured to help them achieve their goals, but can also enjoy their life, go out, have drinks with the girls, margs, whatever you want, right? We can find a way to have you succeed and achieve whatever goal you want to achieve and still enjoy life along the way. Now, another type of client that I'm actually currently working with, I have 2 clients, are clients that I have to be careful with carbohydrates. So for a majority of the clients that I do work with right now, carbohydrates are used as the fuel source. Since I am a sports nutrition specialist, I am most concerned, well, not most concerned, but I am heavily concerned with your performance in your training. Are you eating sufficiently to fuel those workouts, right? And for me and for majority of my clients, a higher amount of carbs are going to be necessary to fuel those workouts. And then post-workout, we're going to be refueling with those fast-acting carbohydrates so we can replenish the muscle glycogen that you're losing during your workouts. Again, when we go back to my diet, it's why I have such higher carb meals pre-workout on my high carb days, and always post-workout is going to be the highest amount of carbs for me, because my main fuel source is my muscle and my liver glycogen. So we want to load that pre-workout. We're going to deplete that during the workout since we're resistance training, and then replenish that post-workout and the meals following. Because what really fuels you in your workout one day is everything you eat the day prior and leading up to the workout, because that's what's actually loading up your muscle and liver glycogen. But what about the clients that I have? One client that is diabetic that I'm working with, and another one that has low insulin sensitivity, being pre-diabetic as well. So if your body cannot utilize those carbohydrates to the best of its ability, we have to be careful, right? For those clients specifically, what I typically recommend is I move the carbohydrates to later in the day. So why would I do that? Well, when your body sleeps, hormones are secreted, and when you wake up, your cortisol levels are higher when you wake up than they are at any point in the day. So what is cortisol? I'll put it over there. Cortisol is a stress hormone, to put it plainly, right? And so when cortisol is high, your insulin sensitivity is low. You want your body to be insulin sensitive because when it is, it utilizes those carbohydrates more efficiently. If you are insulin insensitive, that means you are more likely to store those carbohydrates as adipose tissue, which is body fat. And we do not want body fat, right? So regardless of if you want to lose body fat or gain muscle, body fat is not what we want. So when we move those carbohydrates to later in the day, it gives the body time to regulate itself, to naturally increase the insulin sensitivity by lowering those cortisol levels. So I will typically prescribe a higher protein and fat meal to begin the day. So we're fueling the body right from the jump and signaling to it to use the fat as fuel. Then as the day goes on, we slowly but surely introduce those carbs. But one thing I do want to say is that for my clients that are diabetic and pre-diabetic, they obviously do let me know what their dietitian actually recommends as far as their macronutrient breakdown. How many carbs do we have to play with in a day to make it safe for them? They give me that information, and then from there I work with them to plug those numbers in and then ballpark it as far as the types of foods that we prescribe. So I'm not going to be having a diabetic client necessarily eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Crunch Berries, the types of cereals that I and my clients eat. I'll typically go for a higher glycemic carb, or a cereal with a little bit more fiber in it, like Kashi cereals or cereals of those sorts, right? So for my diabetic client, she actually works out fasted in the morning. And so what that means is she's waking up, not eating anything, and then that's when she works out. So if that's the case, When you do exercise, your body naturally creates that insulin sensitivity because it depletes its muscle glycogen like I talked about before. So since it does, we still have those carbohydrates in the morning because she creates her insulin sensitivity through the exercise. So again, everyone's diet is individual to them, it's specific to them. If you typically follow a ketogenic diet, I am not going to change that for you if you do not want me to. If it's easier for you to follow that diet and you have goals to build muscle, we'll just increase the diet, increase the fats because your body's in ketosis, and we will build muscle that way. Do I believe your performance will suffer? Personally, I do, because I believe carbohydrates are the best fuel source for you if you're looking to peak performance in the gym. However, I am never going to force anyone to change the diet that they want to follow. One of my clients is vegetarian. One of my clients is pescatarian, right? And so these are all things that I fit into their diet, just as I fit the night out into my earlier client's diet. So flexible dieting makes it easiest to follow for that client. Again, I want to preach sustainability, enjoyability, and it's just the consistency level. You're not going to be as consistent if you have to follow that like chicken, rice, and veggie diet, just because it's going to be easier. You're going to be tempted with foods all around you that you actually want to eat. So why not eat those foods that you want to eat in moderation, take the cravings out of it, and then slowly but surely achieve your goals in a fashion that's way more enjoyable and sustainable for you. So in short, or kind of long, we'll see how long this video ends up being, that is why I personally, when I'm not competing and I'm in my off season, I follow a flexible diet, and why I would say for 90% of my clients that have no aspirations of competing in powerlifting or a bodybuilding physique competition, flexible dieting is the way to go, is the most enjoyable, sustainable method to still help you achieve the goals you want to achieve. I hope you enjoyed the little intro tidbits as far as nutrition goes. And next week I will give you some training tips, advice, and anything that you specifically want to hear about. Go ahead and drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you soon.